Smart 24, driving business.
All right, good to have you again, and many thanks for joining in for those who have just joined us. And for those, meanwhile, that have been following the entire conversation from where we started, many thanks for joining us. Now we're into our last part of the discussion, our quick 20. And of course, when you look at this particular discussion that we've been having, we're analyzing briefly how the impact of this education saga in relation to the programs offered at Uganda's universities, of what impact it has had on the universities, the National Council for Higher Education, of course, and also the students themselves. We have students who are now applying to join various universities. Not only that, we have students who are in their final year, and some of those who are actually in the long run, either second year students. Now, at times when you're in your second year, that is when you are skeptical of whether should I continue with the course, rather the program or not. And at times there are lots of things. Now, such things come and bump into you and you're like, well, I think it's high time I left the university because maybe it's not meaningful. But well, of course, according to what a professor has been, breaking down for us, you come to think of it that, well, it is high time we focused on, having that belief in our education sector, because you never know of how much importance that degree, that diploma, that certificate, that Masters of Doctrine that you're getting from one of the universities in the country is going to shape your future or help you in the long run while searching for better positions in the job market or even in leadership roles, wherever you are. But now our focus now turns on to where this is leaving us as a country. Now, Professor, when you look at the fact that now this is here, it has come, we're now dealing with it, we are feeling its impact. If you're to look at what is it preparing us for in the near future in regards to such case scenarios, and how can we now create at least, a situation that this doesn't happen once again, to lead to such a crisis of the world recognizing us in such a level for our education?
Yeah, the beauty is the stakeholders are now aware.
Yes.
Students are now alert, parents are now alert, which was not the case before. And therefore, I'm happy about this because it is going to make university leaders accountable right at the school level, departmental level, where program ideas originate from, to all governing bodies through management, through Senate and Council. And for the case of the private universities, the board of directors. And another important thing that the government is putting in place mechanisms. Like I saw there is an Education Review Commission, whose the chairman or chairperson is Honorable Amanya Mushiga. So they are working on such kind of issues to make sure that, for example, if there is duplication, I would think that the programs at universities are so many, and the capacities for delivering them could be limited. We are nearly sharing the same human resources, especially at PhD level, and we need to rethink of how we can increase PhD, for example, graduate academicians in order to support the increasing population that demand education.
Yes.
But again, we see good development through curriculum development and change, looking at competence-based learning.
Okay.
And I don't think that universities now could be only thinking about accommodating the candidates who will, in the future, in 5 or 4 years, will join the universities. So this is the wake-up call. And I think as universities, we need now to, one, look at how a university should be run.
Okay.
And I have read one book of my friend, Dr. Muganga, the VC of Victoria.
Yes.
Which is the real university, authentic. He uses what is an authentic university, and his ideas are really brilliant, and I commend him for that published work. And if we continue to improve, benchmark, do away with things that do not work, we can develop our education standards or systems to any level, anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Because Ugandan students who go for further studies outside have always outperformed and shined and developed important innovations. Like one of our professors at UTAM, Professor Junju, who was at the University of Liverpool, and we were able to attract him. And he's making important contributions in the designing of marketable programs, research proposals, submissions, and funding. And if we learn from experience of scholars, Ugandan scholars who have been exposed, coming back, then we will be able to make a difference.
Well, of course, do you think we can provide, do you think there's a resolution where we can think of university alumni, for example, to come through in such situations and help, now I'm relating this to ensuring that these students keep in school at such a time, and it's very difficult, by the way, to keep students now in school in such times.
Right.
Do you think it's high time now we employed these alumni as as catalysts, for example, to help boost?
Yeah, and it is not about alumni alone. For example, UTAMU, we provided scholarships.
Yes.
Over 400 scholarships, and they are going on for the next 3 years. And getting alumni involved, yes, it is a good idea. So developed countries use that, especially the successful ones. If he can come and put up a building and it is called after his or her name, that would improve the image and the status of the university. And therefore, all of us getting involved and being proud of the institutions that made us who we are can provide an incentive for those who are following us. Because if there is no continuity in creating examples for those following us, then value of education will be undermined.
Okay.
And I think Uganda is doing extremely well.
Okay. Professor, when you look at us, as we are summing up with our conversation first, which recommendations would you really give to universities? Now we are in this we're now, every university is trying to set up how they get through the situation. Everyone has their own mechanism of handling crisis management. But which recommendations would you give in relation to, for example, a case scenario in Namibia you've given? How do we prepare, our programs? How do we now evaluate, the kind of, lectures we provide to these students, and how do we go about?
I think for those who were caught unawares, it is a running point.
True.
And universities really should put up a system at least to flag within the system that if a program is 5 years and maybe 6 months to lapsing of the accreditation provided, there should be alarm systems to trigger the reassessment or redevelopment or redesigning of the program to avoid such embarrassing situations. And the regulator also has an important role to remind those who are sleeping on their jobs by creating an incentive that when you provide, for example, the programs where earlier in time a discount can be provided so that we reduce on the financial burden that is required to reassess these programs. And if government can also come in to give a hand, especially private universities, to provide, for example, 50% of the cost for reassessing and reaccrediting the programs, that would be a welcome idea, because we are providing a service to the population that is going to serve Uganda. And when the professionals that we, or the graduates that we put out in the market are working as expected, then the whole country benefits. So we cannot leave it as a burden to the owners of private universities or the leadership or management for public universities where government has a direct involvement in providing support and funding.
Well, doctors, we're now summing up with our conversation. Do you think, or do you at any one moment advise, employers to look out for, this kind of, first of all, in such situations, do you advise employers to seek out more for a skilled person, or you'd rather have one who has the degree? Because you've been there in such situations. Trust me, at times we do say we want people who are skilled, but the degree backs a lot.
Yeah, it's a degree is an attestation. It is a backing to show that you can be able to do something.
Yes.
But why should I employ a person going to create a burden and increase cost? Every organization employs somebody to solve the existing problem. Whether known publicly or privately. Because of image issues, the company is not going to say we have this challenge or this problem, but ideally, and every organization employs somebody because they want you to solve the existing problem. So when you become a burden, increasing cost, and that's why in the wisdom of regulators and program reviewers and developers, there is, for our case, we have community engagement. Every end of year, students need to go to the communities in order to interface, to have real life learning. so that when they graduate, they already know. When you face the camera, you don't run away. The first time I was, and this is my experience when I joined Hong Kong, the first time they put me in a room alone to speak to a camera, I froze. I had never been in front of the camera.
You know, it comes with a different level of confidence as well to be in front of the camera.
Yes.
True.
So if the students at the universities have not been exposed to speaking through the camera or using identification of certain machines.
Yes.
The other day at National Curriculum Development Center anniversary, the director of Industrial Research Institute gave a testimony, Professor Kwesiga. He said that a first-class student from Makerere was brought in the institute but could not identify a certain machine in reality. First class, but cannot identify which machine does what in industrial machines. So if the students are exposed through before they get out of work and they interface with job providers, organizations, then it becomes, the organizations become partners in training competent and skilled manpower that are able to have a positive impact to one, the organization itself, and the society overall.
Well, and Professor, as we are summing up, finally, your parting shots to the viewers, students.
Yeah, students, parents, be confident that there is no university that intentionally does anything to disadvantage you. And every leader within the university will always do what is possible within their means to make sure that the students do not lose out. Yeah. And we think we are doing the right thing under the guidance of National Council for Higher Education.
Okay. Many thanks for joining us here this evening as we have been discussing lots to do with the education sector, and we were analyzing the status of the various academic programs that are offered at Uganda's university. Dan Musinguzi here on YouTube, you're saying Uganda's education system is robust, and our people who are applying for scholarships to study abroad should not get discouraged by the current drama of expired programs, because you believe this drama will expire as well. Of course, many thanks for being part of that kind of discussion on there online. Now, for the viewers out there, I'm Joram Paul Sonko. I've been having Professor Eddie Tukamshaba, who is the Vice Chancellor at UTAMO, and of course, he's been giving us more details in regards to that. That is the Uganda Technology and Management University in the country around Bugolobi there. So when you come to think of it as well, it is not something to worry about. Government has given universities a deadline to review these courses and of course to do the reassessment once more, so it's not something that you should worry about if you're a student and if you're a parent who is sponsoring your child at the university. And in all that, we hope that the entire situation will come to a pause where we will be happily into our education and into our universities to create room for a better employment space. You can get Smart 24 television on mainstream. GOTV's channel 372, DSTV's channel 320, and of course as well for those who are on free-to-air decoders. But also remember, you can stream in case you want to watch any program live. That is Smart 24 TV is the YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to get notifications of any program that is going on and any interview that you might have missed. Then Remember to download the Smart Digital app. Here you can easily access Smart FM, NBS Kodea, and Smart 24 television wherever you are, and you can easily get in touch with all of that. Now, for the business part of it, www.smart24.tv/news is the website where you can get real-time business updates, both local and international. Well, till next time, this has been The Point this evening.